And Porterfield! Oh, Porterfield has scored!
A block by Tommy Wright. Phillips again! And Sunderland have scored!
And Kevin Ball holds that trophy aloft for the second time.
Get in. Get the fuck in. What a 3 points that is. You know, I'm watching that tonight. I'm starting to think that maybe, is this going to be our year? I know it's early doors. You know, we're only 11 games in. But in years gone by, that's a game would have lost, would have folded, and it would have crumbled. You know, a couple of years ago in the playoff semi-final, exactly the same type of game, and we folded and got beat 2-1 or 2-0 on the night. This team seemed to have a staleness and a doggedness of not wanting to lose. You know, the fight, and by God did we have to fight tonight. That first half, we got absolutely battered. We got a tanking, and I was so pleased that that goal was disallowed just before half time. You know, unbelievable defensive effort from the lads. It was a poor performance first half, but like I said in the preview video, I did expect us to make one change. I did think that Alan Brown would possibly come into the side at the expense of Dan Neil. Wasn't the case. Alan Brown came in for the expense of Patty Roberts. So we started off with Patterson in goal. A back four of Trey Hume, Chris Mepham, Luke O'Neill, Dennis Serkin. In midfield we had Dan Neil, Job, Alan Brown, Chris Rigg, Romain Mundle and Wilson Isidore up front. And to be fair, we should have took the lead in the first minute. We started the first 2 minutes, we were really good. Actually, we get a chance in the first minute. There's a cross comes in and Dan Neil should get it on target. Keeper, I think he saves it, but to be fair, from where he was, he should have at least hit the target, and that was positive signs, or I thought was going to be positive signs of what was to come. But after that, Luton totally dominated the first half. We were weak, we couldn't get out. I say they pressed us high. Now, I say a fair play to them, that's their game, that's how they play. It's awful to watch, but you have to stand up to it. And I thought defensively, we were absolutely fantastic in that first half. But it was the midfield and up front where Wilson Isidore couldn't get hold of the ball. We were sloppy when we did get out, but there was no out ball. You know, the midfield would keep losing it, Dan Neil was keep losing it. And that's why I did say I would have played Job in that deep lying role, because Dan Neil didn't really stand up to that physicality in the first half. He kept losing the ball. We were getting out-muscled. We were getting bullied. And the ball kept coming back time and time again. You know, they must have had 6 corners in the first half. But they didn't really create that many chances. Now, 29 minutes, Chris Rigg gets booked for a stupid tackle on Alfie Doughty. And you think, right, he's now walking a tightrope for the rest of the game. But in typical Chris Rigg fashion, didn't let it affect him, and he played the full game, well, almost the full game. But the first half, like I say, we could so easily have been a goal down, but we stood up to the pressure, and we managed to get to half-time 0-0, which I was so relieved about. And one thing that I thought was good in the first half was a bit of Anthony Patterson shithousery, where he went down, injured, to give Regis Lebris a bit of a time to get some of his ideas across and change a few things. But we got to half-time 0-0. Second half, you're hoping that Luton have burnt themselves out and then wait and suddenly kind of take over the game. And to be fair, it didn't really turn out that way, because the first 5 minutes of the second half, we were getting battered again. We kept on giving free kicks away around the edge of the box. I must say, though, that I thought the referee was absolutely shit tonight. He was absolutely shocking for both sides. Free kicks he was given that weren't free kicks, and free kicks that he missed, he was just absolutely diabolical. And I will even say, while I'm on a rant, that if you watch the game on Sky, the commentators on Sky, oh my God, I've never heard a set of biased commentators towards an opposing team as I did tonight. Chris Iwelumo, ex-centre forward who scored like 5 goals in 5,000 games, hasn't got a fucking clue what he's talking about. At the end, said they should have had a penalty. I mean, Trey Hume kind of like brushed their player. He goes down the box, it's a penalty. It's like, dear me, give your head a shake, man. But anyway, first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the second half, we're getting battered again. And then out of nowhere, we get a breakaway. The ball comes in the box, it comes off Tyeth Chong, it falls into the path of Chris Rigg. And this young man, honest to God, the calmness and the composure in the box to take a touch, take around his defender and slot it home. unbelievable. Talk about a goal against the runner player. The weight end of 1,400 odd fans went absolutely ballistic. You know, fantastic goal. And from there, the game changed. We suddenly looked more in control. Kind of knocked their plugs in a little bit. But in typical Sunderland fashion, when a centre forward's not scored for so many games, enter Sunderland for to put that record right. Elijah Adebayo hadn't scored in 12 games this season. Tonight, he gets the equaliser. Another free kick around the box, which I don't think was a free kick, by the way. Give it against Dennis Serpent, again around the edge, right-hand side of the box. Cross comes in. Carlton Morris, Dan Neil, not picking his man up. Heads across the back, across the box. And there's Adebayo, middle of the goal, to head it home. And you're thinking, right, here we go now. Now they've got the equaliser. It's going to be a tough last kind of half an hour. However, up steps Romain Mundle. Again, we on the left-hand side, we break away. Mundle gets the ball on the left-hand side, cuts inside, then cuts inside again, puts the defender on his arse and rifles in a shot, Jack Clark-esque, into the bottom right-hand corner. It's 2-1. And honestly, the feeling, the away fans again, absolutely fantastic goal. And what a way to put us in front. And from then on, you think, right, just hang on. They're just going to play their game. It's how you deal with their game. They get the ball, chuck it in the box, and you're just hoping that you can defend it, you know, and just keep on battering these balls away. I think Luton ended up with about 9 forwards on the pitch. And that's just their game. It was like watching the old League One days where teams just get the ball and whack it in the box. But it works for them. But I must say, Chris Mepham and Luke O'Neill, the amount of defensive headers that they won tonight was absolutely fantastic. That back four, couldn't be more proud of them. As the game goes on, you're thinking, right, just hang on. 5 minutes of injury time goes up. Patterson goes down again after a challenge from Morrison. Carlton Morrison, you're thinking, right, this is going to get out of the hopes not going to come back and bite us on the arse. Patterson gets booked for time wasting. But we managed to hang on, you know, despite all the corners and the free kicks and what have you. Luton didn't really create that many big chances. They got the goal, but apart from that, I can't remember, you know, shots raining down on Patterson's goal. They had about 19 shots, but about 4 on target. And that just shows you how good defensively we were. We've hung on after the final whistle. There's hell on. Chris Mepham has an argument with Kaminski, the goalkeeper, and there's 2 of their players booked. And also Luke O'Neill and Job gets booked as well. Now that tonight puts Job and Chris Rigg on 4 yellow cards each. So they're going to be now walking a tightrope before that 19th game. But anyway, most importantly, we've hung on. We've got 3 points. We're top of the league by 3 points. Amazing. Burnley only drew tonight against Hull. Middlesbrough beat Sheffield United. So all the results tonight, again, makes you wonder, is this going to be our year? So the top of the table looks like this. We've played 11, 25 points. Burnley played 11, 22 points, along with Leeds played 11, 22 points. West Brom, Sheffield United and Blackburn have all played 11, are on 19 points. We're now going to the game at the weekend against Oxford, where you'd hope we can do the business at home and get another 3 points against the team you would expect to beat. But you have to have the right mindset, because if you don't, these are the games where we will step up at home against the lower or the lesser teams, or you would think lesser teams in the league. Having said Oxford, they're in the top half of the table, so they're not doing too badly, and there won't be a pushover. But I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that tonight. Like I say, the first half was a bit of a mixture. They were really, really good, and we were poor. But second half, I thought we were much, much better. We got on the ball a lot more, and we caused them problems and scored 2, wonderful goals. Player ratings. Well, Patterson, for his shithousery, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10, even though tonight his kicking was absolutely shit. When you're needing to take the pressure off, you need to aim for the corners and aim for the corner flags, and instead he was just booting the ball downfield or booting the ball out to player, which giving the ball back to them. But just for his tactics, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. And he made one cracking save from Adebayo in the second half as well. The back four, Treyhume, 7 out of 10. Dennis Certain, 7 out of 10. But Mepham and O'Neill for me were absolutely fantastic tonight. Mepham again, I thought he was outstanding. He never seems to get flustered. He never seems to get, out of his comfort zone, and he always seems to have time. So Chris Mackem, again for me, is man of the match, a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Luke 9 and 8 out of 10 as well. In the midfield, Dan Neil, I thought was poor first half. Second half he grew into the game a little bit more. So a 6 out of 10 for Dan Neil. Job, I thought again got through a hell of a lot of work in that midfield. See, he was chasing about most of the time, but he grafted and challenged, and his presence in there was good. So a 7.5 out of 10 for Job. Alan Brown, I thought, was really poor tonight, actually. Didn't seem to know where he was playing. He kept on giving the ball away. It looked like he was short of match fitness. However, he stuck to the task, but I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Chris Rigg, this kid just kind of describe how good this kid's going to be. For his goal, 8 out of 10 for Chris Rigg. Another fantastic performance. Like I say, even though he gets booked early on, he still sticks to the task and puts in a fantastic performance. Mundle, I thought, his first half was poor like a lot of them, but second half gets his goal. Fantastic effort and was actually taking the pressure off. And I was surprised when he went off, because he was the one that was starting to cause them a lot of problems. But 8 out of 10 for Mundle. Wilson Isidore, I thought, wasn't strong enough in the first half. He needed to hold onto the ball a lot more, but we couldn't get out, and he wasn't that physical presence where I thought he was going to be. So 6 out of 10 for Wilson. Aaron Connolly came on, didn't really get into the game, had a really good chance when he was played through one goal, but kind of took too much time and doubt. He got back and took it off him. So 6 out of 10 for Connolly. Roberts came on as well in the last 5 minutes and didn't really get in the game, but did his piece to get us over the line and get the win. But overall, what a fantastic 3 points. What a fantastic 3 points. That's probably going to be one of our toughest away games this season. It's a horrible place to go. They're a horrible team to play against. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Who was your man of the match? What's your thoughts on the performance? I did see on social media we'll get a lot of grief at half time, which to be fair was a little bit justified, but I thought they were really, really good first half, and credit to them. But much more credit to us for standing up to that physicality. Second half, come out and play your game, get the 3 points, and it's fantastic. And we're top of the league by 3 points. I cannot believe it. I'm over the moon. Watch out for the match preview coming out for the Oxford game, which will be coming out tomorrow. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Who was your man of the match? What's your thoughts on the game? If you're travelling back, have a safe journey. Until tomorrow, where I'll be doing the preview video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, stay safe, speak soon, and sleep well. Now we're top of the league. However, lads.